the Tata Nano, also called the world's cheapest car. Staying true to its tagline, the car itself has been designed to keep the costs low as possible, making the car very minimalistic. The car is very different from a normal car. It gets a very humble 625cc two-cylinder petrol engine, which makes maximum power of 38 PS and maximum torque of 51 Nm, and is coupled with a 4-speed manual gearbox. Speaking of the engine, it doesn't sit in the front like most cars out there. The engine of the Nano sits in the rear and can be accessed by removing the cover behind the rear seat. Cooling vents are placed on both the sides of the car to channelize air to the engine for cooling it down. This rear engine setup was done to uniformly distribute the load throughout the car. Also, for another reason, the Nano in its early release didn't get a power steering. If the engine were to be in the front, the car would have been heavier in the front, making it more difficult to turn the front wheels. Cost cutting is evident throughout the car. For example, the doors are so light that they can be closed with a finger like this. The car seems really small from the outside, but once you get in, it tells a different story. You're welcomed with these huge window glasses that make the cabin feel airy. The visibility is fantastic and you never feel claustrophobic inside this car. The rear seats have enough legroom and headroom. However, there's less shoulder room because the car is narrow. It is a comfortable place for 2 people at the back, so the car is a 4-seater. This is the top-end LX variant of the Tata Nano, which has air conditioning and power windows. Let's now go for a quick drive and see how well it fares on the road. Once you start the engine, the first thing that comes to your mind is the engine noise that is well heard inside the cabin. The lack of power steering stops bothering you the moment you start driving. The steering now feels light and easy to use. Despite having a small 625cc engine, the car still feels effortless to drive, owing to the fact that it weighs just over 600 kgs. The drive feels very raw and direct like a go-kart. The car does exactly what you ask for. It climbs up slopes pretty well, and it never feels like the car is lacking power. Suspension is hard, and the ride feels bumpy on bad roads. This car is best for city roads. Driving in congested and narrow city roads is a breeze due to the Nano's compact dimensions. Be it parking in tight spaces or making a U-turn in narrow roads, no other car would do it like the Nano. The car feels its best at around 60 km per hour, beyond which it becomes a bit scary to drive. But the Nano was never built for speed. In fact, it was never built to compete against other cars like the Alto. It was built to be a safer alternative for a two-wheeler and especially for families who travel like this on motorcycles, risking their lives. The Nano is very cheap to maintain, fuel efficient, and is built to last. However, it is sad that the Nano is no longer in production. Cars of today come with a lot of features like touchscreens, Bluetooth, keyless entry, and have become smarter and technologically advanced. But it's cars like the Nano that really make you think that sometimes an engine with 4 wheels are all you need, which is why the Nano is one of a kind.